Hey everybody, this is actually part two for the track breakdown for the brand new Crowned song called Idolized Self, where we'll be going over guitars and vocals and the mastering chain. If you want to see part one, which will be in the description below, that will be covering drums and bass. So if you want to check that out, just follow that link and let's go ahead and jump straight into the rest of this video. Okay, so guitars, the beef of the record and the bane of my existence to make this record sound good. So, we got a good low end, so let me put the drums and the bass together by themselves. Yeah, beefy, but we've got to contrast that with good guitars. And so what I'm about to show you is everything I've done to make this song sound the beefiest that we can possibly make it. So here are just the guitars going through the guitar bus. All right, so there's a lot going on there. You see there's 4 guitars, there's 2 on the left, 2 on the right, but there's a lot more going on there than just 2 on the left and 2 on the right. So let's start with the regular guitar track. Let me grab the guitar that we used. So this is a Sub-Zero Bass 6, 30-inch scale length, I think. And then this Nazgul pickup, freaking killer. DiMarzio? Maybe. Not exactly sure. Maybe. Wait, I've got it right here. Seymour Duncan. That's the old pickup. It's a Nazgul by Seymour Duncan. This guitar is tuned in drop D sharp. And so the guitar originally came in E standard tuning, but an octave down. So it's in between a bass and a standard guitar. We tried double drop D. We really wanted to do something fun because a lot of the old Crown tracks were actually in G sharp. And so we were like, let's do D sharp. They'll contrast each other. And the fun thing about this song is that happens in this track. The first half of the track that you're listening to is in G sharp. And then right when this part ends, which you guys won't hear unless you're listening to the real full track, it drops down to drop double D sharp. D sharp, yes, but it's dropped. So we use this guitar to record the majority of the rhythm stuff. Slack, for some of the other songs, used his PRS baritone scale guitar for the G sharp stuff as well. But a lot of it happened on here as well, just so you guys can put an eye. If you listen to Loathe, this guitar is on the very famous Loathe record. Why can't I remember the name of this record? I let it in and it took everything. Yeah, the guitars on that record in itself really inspired a lot of what we did to finalize this sound. So let's jump into this guitar real quick. Here's what it sounds like DI without anything. Clean DI. That's all you need. And then we're running it through this EQ, did a little curve here, bumped it up around the 1,000 mark, and then this might be unconventional. I don't know. It made it sound good, so we just went with it. I love the CLA 76, if you haven't noticed yet. I love the way it makes everything sound. And then we ran it through with the Archetype Gojira, and I didn't even spend time making a new preset. I used one of the Gojira plugins or presets, the JD Rhythm 4. On this one, I think I did JD Rhythm 6 on the right guitar. We'll have to take a look, but here's what it sounds like through the amp. Lot of bite, really good. What we did was we added another left guitar, Sometimes people do this for breakdowns, but I have done it for the whole entire track for all the songs that we recorded for this record. And I added a double track, turned it down, looks like 8 decibels, and then I pitch shift the whole thing down another octave. So now we're down triple drop D sharp. And this is what it sounds like. So I'm using the exact same chain here, except on the archetype, I just pulled the gain back just to clean it up a little bit. And when you play them together, it sounds like this. So it just gives it some bite and some meanness. And so let's listen to the right guitar so you can just hear the contrast of the tones. Everything's the same here until we get to the archetype, Gojira. Yeah, JD Rhythm 6. And so similar tones, but just enough to keep it different. And this is what they sounded like. Just absolutely brutal. So same thing with the right. We have the octave down, and this is what it sounds like. And then all of them together. And that is guitars. Besides, once again, I bust the guitars just to, look at that, I'm compressing them again. This is what it sounds like without the bust stuff. So I had to do a lot of things there. We had to cut more low end out, carve a little bit of the high end out because it was just too bitey. It was kind of obnoxious on the final master. And I had to make room for vocals and not let everything get too muddy. When you're playing with guitars that are tuned this low, it can get really muddy really fast. So it might sound a little weird when I am just playing the guitars by themselves, but when everything's back together in itself, you'll remember. So let's actually do that right now. So yeah, you see, it really starts to come together. And then we've got this really crazy sounding lead. Just creating dissonance. And then I have one that one was recorded by Alex. He sent that to me. And then I recorded this one through my guitar. Just terrifying sounding stuff. So that was actually done on my Helix. I had a pitch shift set on my expression pedal, and then I would just slightly pitch up. So I'd play a note and like pitch up like just a half step just to give that kind of feel to it. And it's running through a bunch. It's just a Gojira plugin, and it's just like reverbed, delayed, all the effects that you can possibly put on it. That gives it that overall feel to give it its ominous sound like this. So really just bringing it to life. And then this is the original track from the original recordings that we did back in the day. That's nuts. You can hear the stark difference of volume and everything. We'll get on to vocal world. So this is when things also start to get a little unconventional. And then we'll finish this and go over to the master. Here we have Aaron's vocal and we have McCall's vocal. So Aaron, you can see I've got these things like grouped up in a weird way. I've got all 4 of his vocal tracks, which are the same track, and you'll see why in a minute. All 4 of his vocal tracks grouped together. And then you can see down here, McCall has got 5 vocal tracks. They're all grouped together. And then those 2 are grouped together again under a vocal bus. So here is what Aaron's vocals sound like.
You're not the one who decides between what's right and what's wrong. You're not the holy and divine. You're trying to play God.
Okay, so there's a lot going on there. Let's pull up one of these vocal channels. As you can see, we've got a group that I already put together. The very first thing that's happening is we've got this plugin called Butch Vig's vocal through Mono. I didn't really do a lot of playing with this. I just grabbed a preset called clean or lead vocal clean, and it really brought the vocal to life. So let me turn this effect channel off real quick so you can see what his vocals sounded like when him and McCall sent me the tracks.
You're not the one who decides between what's right and what's wrong. You're not the holy and divine. You're trying to. You're not the one who decides between what's right and what's wrong.
So as you can hear on the main track here, this is just really bringing it to life. And then I had to do some EQ curves just to drop the low end out. I don't know if the chorus is actually on or not. That's something I like to do, is add a chorus effect just enough to kind of like be underneath to give some body. But I think what I did with these 3 tracks here caused it to where I didn't have to have the chorus effect. And then I just got a limiter to keep things squashed a little bit. And I did that for all of the other 3 channels as well. The only difference is this one here is pitched down 2 octaves from his original. So 24 steps down. So this is what it sounds like. Good Lord. That's what made these vocals pop. And so if I layer them on top of each other.
God, the one who decides between what's right and what's wrong. You're not the holy.
Sweet Jesus. That's what gives it the boost. And so I played around with it some more. Did the exact same thing. Kind of exact same thing. Dropped 2 more tracks down. Panned 1 left hard. Panned 1 right hard. And then this one is down just 12 steps. So an octave. But then this one I did 11. So it gives it some dissonance. So this is what these 2 sound like.
God, the one who decides between what's right and what's wrong. You're not the holy and divine.
Can you hear how they're fighting with each other? It's awesome. And then you put all 4 of those together.
God, the one who decides between what's right and what's wrong.
That is what gives it the oomph. And then I think I bring them in here, and with this delay and reverb that it runs through, it actually is a mono, so it actually brings everything back together. And so it's no longer a stereo spread, but somehow them being spread first and then brought back together mono gives it just that nastiness. Now, I will say, during the section that you're listening to here, that part, for We Are Sin Driven, That I'm out running through one more Butch plugin that he's got called Nasty, and it just makes it's only this segment, and it makes it sound like he's coming through a bad like microphone or something. So it would sound like this.
Sun will bring you nothing but never-ending pain. For we are driven from birth to death.
Good Lord. Okay, so that's what we're doing there. And then same thing with McCall's vocals, I think. Yeah, so I did the exact same thing. Same plugins, the Butch plugin, and then I did the pitching on the exact same spot. So this is what McCall would say.
Sun will bring you nothing but never-ending.
So he's got this super low drop.
Sun will bring you nothing but never-ending.
And you just layer those all up and it gets you this.
Sun will bring you nothing but never-ending.
It's absolutely bonkers.
Take your money, take your time, it will fail you in this life. Pleasure seeker, pleasure crazed, no one prospers in their take your money, take your time, it will fail you in this life. Pleasure seeker, pleasure.
It's just mean. It is very mean sounding. So that is, in a nutshell, the only thing I didn't go through was like my cinematic sounds. And so I've got like these reverses and all this stuff. Just to give like emphasis of things. So we got some hats going left and right. That's really to help keep sections driving, but they're turned down really low. Reverse, cymbal swell, booms, snaps, snares.
Sun will bring you nothing but never-ending pain.
And that's what puts the track all together. So that is just the mix. And this has taken us a lot of time to get to this point. I'm fine with sharing it with you guys. I want everybody to get better. And that's why I put these videos out, because I want us all to be good at making good music. And so that's what the finalized track sounds like after it's been mixed. And then I'm going to quickly pull up the master project, because this is very fast, and just show you what I did on the mastering chain to give it the finalized sound. So what I do to master is I'll bounce the tracks out and then bring them back in to a new project file. This is what's called Crown Mastering Project. And then I just lay the songs out in the order that we're going to do the record. It's not laid out in order right now just because we haven't finished everything in the order, but it's just an idea for me to get what transitions could sound like, what the master is going to sound like. And then I just run all these through a master chain. It's got some EQ, some more compression. I can add overdrive if I want to. I don't think I do though. And then I've got a limiter in the spectrum that lets me see just what's going on audibly. And then I think we EQ'd a little bit. Yeah, just a couple drops, like within the 200, 300, 400 realm, right over 100. And then just a tiny bit right here at like 4K is what we did to just kind of finalize some of those pieces. And so I'll show you off and on. Let's go to that section again. This here also at the end is just for me to watch my meters to make sure I'm not peaking anywhere and I'm getting consistency between songs. So it doesn't change anything with the actual inherited sound. It's just visually for me so I know what's going on. Once again, here's what this section sounds like pre-master. So let's turn the mastering chain on. It's probably gonna turn my voice up too, sorry. Yep, it did. So mastering chain, here's what it sounds like.
Take your time, it will fail you in this life.
So as you can hear, it opens up just a little bit more. It's really like coming to life. And so what's happening is there's just a little bit of a dip here in the mid range just to kind of give some clarity. And then we've got some more compression happening. This is just overall taking peaks, bringing them down, trying to give some clarity, pulling the whole track together and making it feel like a track and not just a bunch of individual tracks. The limiter, once again, cutting off peaks so that way we don't have a bunch of moments where things are a little bit louder than normal. And then, like I said, the spectrum is here just to help me out visually. These are these peaks that are happening as far as dropping these down to make it sound a little bit cleaner. And I think also, no, I thought maybe I did some volume changes here, but there's no gain changes there. And then we've got our little meter here. So this is what it looks like pre and post. It's just mean, dude. I love it. So let me see if I can turn some of these off so you can hear what it sounds like going down the chain. Hear that dip? Lots of that mid-range. Take your money, take your time, it will fail you. There's a lot that comes from that limiter. I'm boosting the limiter gain quite a bit just to really give it some extra oomph. And that's what I was looking for that live sound that we were talking about earlier, to give it that live bite. So as you can hear, it sounds like the snare's on top of everything before the limiter comes on. But then when I turn the limiter on, that snare becomes part of the rest of the song. So listen to that. See, the snare, it's not buried, it's not gone, but you can tell that it's not just sitting on top of the music. It's been brought down to the rest of the song. And then we'll turn this last EQ on so you can hear what these last changes made. Just some muddiness right there. This area might also be muddiness. Boxiness. It was getting rid of some of the box. And then this area here, we also took a dip. It was just some harshness that we needed to get rid of. So that's it. That is the new crowned Idolized Self track. So glad that you guys stuck around to watch this. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, let me know. Put it down in the comments below if you want to see some more of these crown tracks broken down. Like I said, I've got plenty of projects that I want to work on this year. I want to put out 12 videos on this channel, and then I'm trying to put out a video every week over on my vlog channel. So if you haven't been to my vlog channel, go check it out. It's called Living with Matt Knapp, and it's just more of like a weekly vlog kind of thing that's showing all the other fun stuff that's going on in my life. So thanks for checking this out. Check out the song in its entirety. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. Any platform that you can listen to it, it's there. Crowned Idolized Self featuring McCall Key from Maewyn. And check out the Maewyn guys. They're awesome as well. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you guys next time.